What if you could meet your heroes? Not just read about them, but actually talk to them. Shake their hand. And what if your biggest hero was your own grandfather as a young man? You've heard the stories your whole life. How he was charming, funny, a bit of a troublemaker. You have a time machine. You know the exact time and place to find him before he ever met your grandmother. What could possibly go wrong? You step out of the machine into the past. There he is, just as you imagined. But in a strange, clumsy accident, maybe you trip. Maybe you startle him. He stumbles into the path of a moving car. And just like that, he's gone. But if he's gone, he never meets your grandmother. Your father is never born. And if your father is never born, you are never born. So, if you were never born, who just stepped out of that time machine? Welcome to Void and Matter. Today, we're tackling the most famous, the most common sense, and the most brain-breaking argument against time travel to the past. It's a puzzle so simple a child could ask it, but so profound that the greatest minds in physics are still debating the answer. So, what exactly is the grandfather paradox? It's not just about grandfathers. It's about causality, the simple, unbreakable rule that a cause must always come before its effect. You flip a switch, then the light comes on. The grandfather paradox is what happens when a time traveler becomes an effect that erases its own cause. It creates a contradiction, a loop of logic that has no way out. For a long time, people thought this was the end of the discussion. Proof that time travel to the past was impossible. But scientists and philosophers are stubborn, and they've come up with a few incredible ways that the universe might be able to solve this paradox. Solution 1. The universe says no. This is the idea that the universe has a built-in defense mechanism against paradox. The laws of physics themselves will conspire to stop you from killing your grandfather. It's not that you don't have free will, it's that the probability of you succeeding is literally zero. Visuals. A time traveler repeatedly tries to cause the accident. Each time a new, almost comical, intervention occurs. A flock of pigeons flies in the way. A shoelace mysteriously unties, causing them to trip. The car gets a sudden flat tire. You try to push him, but you slip on a banana peel. You try to warn the driver, but you suddenly lose your voice. It's the universe course-correcting in real time. According to this principle, you can go back to the past, but you are physically incapable of doing anything that would change the history that has already produced you. You can be a part of the past, but you can't break it. Solution 2. The multiverse getaway. This is probably the most popular solution in science fiction, and it comes from the weird world of quantum mechanics. The many worlds theory suggests that every possible outcome of an event creates its own, new, parallel universe. There's a universe where you wore a different shirt today, and a universe where the dinosaurs never went extinct. So, when you step out of your time machine and cause that accident, you haven't actually changed your past. You've just created a new timeline. Visuals. A timeline splits into two distinct branches. One shows the original history continuing, the other shows the new, altered history. In this new universe, your grandfather is gone. That world's version of your family will never exist. But in your original timeline, the one you left behind, everything is fine. Your grandfather lived, you were born, and one day, you got into a time machine and vanished forever. This solves the paradox completely. You can kill your grandfather because he's not your grandfather anymore. He's the grandfather of a parallel you that will now never be born. The only catch? You can never go home. You are now a refugee in a timeline you created by accident. Solution 3. The story was already written. This solution is perhaps the most mind-bending of all. The block universe theory suggests that the past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. Time doesn't flow. It's a static, four-dimensional block, and all of history is laid out within it. In this view, if you travel back in time to meet your grandfather, your presence there isn't a new event. It was always part of the past. So maybe you meet him, and in your conversation, you inspire him to be brave and go to the dance where he'll meet your grandmother. Or perhaps, in a more tragic twist, you're the one who accidentally causes the accident that leads to his death, but only after he's already met your grandmother and your father has been conceived. Whatever happens, your actions in the past don't change history. They are history. You are simply playing a part in a story that was already written. There is no paradox because your journey back in time was always a necessary part of the events that led to your own birth. So, where does that leave us? With a puzzle, the grandfather paradox isn't just a fun thought experiment. It's a profound question about the nature of our reality. Are we free to change our destiny? Are there infinite versions of our lives playing out in parallel worlds? Or are we all just characters in a grand cosmic story that has already been told? The answer is, we don't know. But it's one of the greatest questions we can possibly ask.